This is the Minecraft void, and there is a whole lot of nothing. Nothing will spawn, nothing will grow, and no one should be able to survive here. However, if you are lucky like me, you can come across a floating stronghold, arguably Minecraft's rarest structure. And if you're even more lucky or even stupid enough, you might be able to survive here for a long time, like me trying to survive the next 100 days. If you're going to enjoy the video, then I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you enjoy this kind of content, then why not subscribe? I'm trying to hit 200k in 2024, and your subscription could help. Hello, and welcome to the video. So, let me show you what I'm working with. Yeah, not really much. Welcome to the void, baby. This video is something that I've thought about for a while, but I wasn't 100% sure it was technically doable. But I think I've come up with a couple of good strategies, as you'll see. This is the void, as you could probably tell, and there is one stronghold in this void, and I am stood on it. Now, a couple of things I want to obviously point out for those who are questioning is, firstly, how did I make this world? Well, let me just quickly show you. Hey, it's before the recording Haven here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make this world in case you want to give it yourself a go. First things, of course, you've got to name it and put it into hardcore mode. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to world, you're going to put it to super flats, and you're going to take these three layers, you're just going to remove them just like that, so there should be nothing here. I personally will always turn on these bad boys just because I think they're kind of fun. And that's about it. Now, this is the easy part. Now, what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to pause instantly. And what you're going to have to do next is a little bit tricky. So basically, if you don't know, you're going to have to be a cheaty little boy in these kind of things. And if I click open to line, I can turn on cheats and do this. Now, here's the problem with this. The second that I do this, the world will start again and I will just fall instantly into the void. But if I just show you in the port number, I do have this ready. Once the world basically opens up, I will instantly teleport into this guy. So here we go. And then what you're going to want to do, put yourself into creative mode and start flying. Now I'm safely just stood in the void. Of course, I'm being a cheaty little boy in creative mode. But then what you could do is you could just press /place, structure, put yourself a stronghold. And look at that, you have yourself a nice little stronghold right here. Isn't that fantastic? Now, for this challenge to actually work, there's a couple of things that you need. For example, there is some water sources, which you absolutely need. Of course, there's the portal, which you absolutely need. And there's a couple other things that I'll quickly check. But for the most part, this world is now good to go. So let's do this. And secondly, how in the world am I going to survive 100 days in this world? And that is actually a question that I have been pondering for a while. But I think I've come with a couple of good strategies on how to deal with certain things. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about. The early plans here is, simply put, I need to get myself into the nether. And how we're going to do that is, well, let's start by grabbing some wood and we'll talk about it as we go along. Oh, so I should, oh, baby. Wow. One thing I really need to be careful about as well is that this wood here and the wood there, and I think that's about it. I don't see any more wood. These are the only wood sources I'm going to have for the time being, so I have to be very selective of what I do. I guess whilst I'm doing it, let me just quickly talk about my my strategies on how to survive this world. As of right now, there is no way for me to be able to get myself a tree. You can get saplings in a stronghold. There is a chance that a sapling can spawn. Obviously, that depends on the look of the draw with the chest, so I'll have to check those out at some point. However, and this is a big however, I don't know a way I can get dirt in this world. And there probably is a way. I just can't really think of exactly how that would be. For now, plan is I need to go and search. Is the chests around here? Where are the chests? I have a chance to spawn iron. And if I don't get myself free iron, this challenge is already null and void, then I'll have to start again. Cannot survive 100 days here without at least free iron. You'll see why in due course. For the time being, let me pick up the wood. Now, what we have to do with our wood is very, very selective. And I think the move is to obviously make a crafting table. I feel like that's a no-brainer. The remainder of this 27 wood, I actually think the place to make slabs. The reason I think the place to make slabs is because we have to find ourselves a chest that has iron in, and the easiest way to get around is to get as many blocks as possible, and obviously 54 is more than 27. Just for the record, I missed one jump and I'm dead. Just a fair warning. Luckily, we are a parkour master. One thing you need to know about your boy Havenhand is that he is the best parkour. Everybody said so. Correct? Well, that sucks. All right, well, that doesn't do me anything. That really doesn't do me anything. I think there's a chest there, actually. The complete opposite direction we was going. They should be chests. Ah, there is chests here. Oh, that was stupid. I don't know why I did that. All right, that's 2 iron. That's a good start. Also, some food and some apples. We'll definitely take that. Oh, fantastic. There we go. All right, there. We can officially survive 100 days in this world. We're still going to check out that chest. This chest is a little bit useless. I don't think there's any way for me to get a horse, but there you go. Now we need to make our way back to the library. And that was the last of my wood, so it was very good timing. Silk touch. Oh, that's going to be useful later. Unfortunately, we can't make our way back there easily. So I do actually have another plan at this point, because sleep is going to be a big issue if I'm not careful. What I'm going to do, a little bit stupid, is I'm actually going to make myself a sword, just so I can hopefully grab some of this wool. I need enough. A bed, and preferably a fishing rod, because I think I could do something with a fishing rod. All right, that's 12. That gets me a bed. That's 14. All right, then. We have all the wool that we need. And just like that, we have officially gained a bed. The struggle to just get a bed in this world is kind of crazy for the record. So we're going to make ourselves a bucket. Right, so this next bit is really, really simple, as I'm going to sort of skip a couple of steps of Minecraft here, as I'm planning to go into the nether. Like a fiddle, you boys have been played this fine day. I think I may have accidentally done exactly what I wanted to do here. Ow, and there we go. The early plans of this world are coming together nicely. Now I just got to light you, so I'm going to need to go get more wood. Without flint and steel, this is really the only way I could do this. I wasn't even hearing it, did it? My goodness. All right, then we're good to go. So you guys liked how I was doing all that live commentary for the first 2 days? Well, on day 3, I accidentally muted my mic and I never unmuted it. And I didn't realize until it was too late. So yeah, we're going to have to go to post commentary for the rest of this video. That being said, on day 3, we went into the nether. Admittedly, the spawn wasn't great, especially with these skeletons. Oh, okay, I guess I'll deal with him later. Lucky for me, there is a crimson biome right over here. Crimson biomes is exactly what I was looking for, because not only do they spawn hoglins, which give me an infinite supply of food, they also, of course, spawn crimson trees. It actually looks like I will have a decent chance of surviving this world. Who would have thunk it? Anyway, let's head home. Oh, right, the skeleton! I decided on day 4 that I wanted to set up shop at the portal room. Seems like the best place to be. After that, I grabbed the second water source from the fountain over here and made myself an unlimited water supply. Then I made myself a better cobblestone generator. You know, I've played Skyblock for years. You think I'd know this? Now, you see this moment right here? This was the moment that I realized that you can't make charcoal out of netherwood. The egg on my face. So, I was back to the nether on day 5. I'm going to spend a lot of time in here, aren't I? As stated before, my only real source of food at this point is actually going to be these hoglins. How did I survive that? What also will become my best friend for this 100 days is this lava bucket. Not only is it helping me kill these hoglins, it's actually cooking the food as well, which means I have an unlimited supply of cooked pork chops. I will sometimes burn some of the stuff, but it's worth the trade. Got myself 31 chops by day 6. I think we're doing alright, all things considered. Also, we'll take the leather. That'll be pretty decent, I guess. Now, the reason I actually wanted charcoal wasn't actually for cooking, but because I wanted to make myself torches. But that's only for a light source, and I can actually just use glowstone for that instead. Using a mixture of crimson wood and glowstone, and I can make myself a smallish platform to survive on. It will eventually go quite big, but for now this little platform will do. And on day 7 I am actually going to expand the platform over here and start working on a mob grinder. Now there is 2 blocks that I can use for building blocks, either crimson or cobblestone, and I'm fairly confident that getting crimson will be much quicker, so let's just use that. I had it finished by day 10 and it worked like a charm. Now there is a couple of things I want to do eventually, like add hoppers at the bottom, but for now it's good to go. Now, while starting my grind, one thing I did get, which in theory should be a great thing, was actually a carrot. However, it ain't that simple. If only we had an expert on hand to explain why. Did somebody call for an expert? Ah, yeah, Dr. Havenhand here, Minecraft and Minecraft-related expert. Let's go. So, why is the carrot kind of useless in this world? And the simple answer is dirt is basically impossible to get. The overworld is just a void and this stronghold, so no matter how far I go, I will never find any dirt, and there is no way for me to get dirt in the nether or the end, to my knowledge. As far as I'm aware, the only way for me to get dirt is to potentially trade one with a wandering trader. However, a wandering trader isn't that common, especially in these kind of worlds, so yeah. First thing to point out on day 11 is this slime dropping. Secondly, it was back into the nether because of all the things to start searching. I'm going to see if I can find myself a bastion. Bastions can have iron, and you'll see why very soon that I'll need myself some iron, so on day 14, it's a good thing that I found myself one. Things went, well in here, sure, we'll say that. I wasn't finding anything good at first. It turns out that iron doesn't actually spawn much in chests. In fact, the only iron I found in the entire day was right here, right at the end, but this single block plus this extra 5 unfortunately isn't going to be enough, so I'm going to need to find myself a second bastion. Day 17 was much better for me. Not only did I find myself a new bastion, but I actually had found myself a treasure room that had 2 more iron blocks, which is exactly how much I needed. I was in the process of getting out here when I actually found myself an extra chest where I got myself an extra iron block, but more importantly, I got myself some big step. Woo! I got got back by day 19, and it was night. And as I was faffing around on day 20, well, it started thundering. So yeah, another easy day to skip. So now that we're on day 21, why did I even want that iron? The simple answer is I wanted to make myself an anvil. I got myself a silk touch book much earlier, and now that I can put that on an iron pickaxe, I went back into the nether to actually pick myself up some crimson blocks. Before I do that though, I'm going to show you something that I have never seen before. I can't explain this. I don't know what this is. I guarantee someone knows what this is, but what the heck is happening in my game? Anyway, I started collecting myself some fungus. Because of the silk touch, I can also pick up crimson this word, and then I took it back to the overworld. You see, if you want to grow yourself some crimson trees, you have to do it on crimson this word. But for the first time in 21 days, I can actually grow myself some trees, which is absolutely fantastic. The only problem is that this is the worst type of tree that you can get, because these blocks up here don't decay, they don't drop more fungus, so I have to break them myself, and boy does that take a minute every single time. After all the growing and chopping on day 22, I had a grand total of 28 logs. And like I say, more fungus doesn't drop, so yeah, this is all I'm having for the time being. Also, not only can you not use it as a charcoal, you also can't cook it. Apparently this wood just doesn't burn, which means the only way I can use this wood as a cookable source is to turn it into sticks, which I think we can all agree is the worst fuel source that I could possibly use. The rest of the wood I actually turned into slabs. I'm going to turn this platform absolutely giant to try and get myself a wandering trader. How big am I going to make this platform, I hear you ask? I'm going to make it this big right here. But to do that, I am going to need to get myself much more slabs. I actually sat down and did the maths for some weird reason and worked out that I need an extra 1,408 slabs to get this done. That actually works out into about 2 stacks and 48 logs of crimson stems, which I'm not gonna lie, it's actually not as much as I thought it would be. So I was back into the nether on day 24 where I started chopping the wood. Turns out the wood is apparently called stems, by the way. There's showing the more you know moment for the video. And on day 25, well, would you look at all those slabs? Man, this is gonna be fun. It may have taken an extra day, but here we are on day 28 where I got it done. The problem is now slime's spawning all over my structure. I'm hoping that if I light it up with glowstone, that'll fix it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not confident. Now, the good thing is I can actually use my silk touch pickaxe to actually pick up the glowstone in its full block. This actually saves a small amount of time, but it still saves time, which is pretty good. It ain't much, but hell, I'll take the small things, just like my wife. I really wish there was a quicker way to do this on day 28, but nope. Just gotta break them all and place them down, and oh boy, my goodness, this is gonna take forever. And here we are on day 29, and I did not have enough glowstone. Son of a... And there we are, we're done on day 30. The slimes are still spawning for the record, so that's pretty fun. Why don't we celebrate by getting myself some more wood? Such a fantastic reward, I know. I got the rim reattached on day 31. I should never fall off this platform now. Now, the only real problem I've got actually is the slimes. And honestly, the stronghold floating above it is something I've got to deal with, so let's deal with that one first. It was slow going, as you can tell by day 32. I only have stone tools, and this still takes a minute to break every single time, so yeah, just watch the space. Here we are by the end of the day. It was cleared out. Wasn't that a fun day? And for the first time in 33 days, I have myself a platform done. It definitely looks like one of the platforms of all time, I'll tell you that one. Let's celebrate myself with some mob murder. I even got myself some iron armor, isn't that fantastic? And look at that, a zombie villager? Well, well, well. A little bit of a problem, he isn't holding anything. He also isn't putting on armor, so unfortunately, if I leave, he will despawn. Unless, well, what if I don't leave? Everybody say hi to our special guest, Sugar Puffs. Be nice to him in the comment section, he's pretty shy. It took me until day 35 to find a fortress, which admittedly wasn't too bad. Getting to this fortress, and it gave me everything that I will need to eventually cure myself the zombie villager. You know, nether wart, blaze rods, even found some diamonds, which was pretty nice, but we can already head back. And I got back home on day 36. I made myself the brewing stand. I luckily had myself one bottle left over from my time, and here, right here, I remembered that I also need sugar, which I have absolutely none of. I was thrilled in this moment, I must admit, but there is good news. I do have a mob grinder right here, which will occasionally drop witches, which means I should be able to get sugar. And is that a second zombie villager? Day 37, I managed to get him out, and yes, he was. Also, this guy also didn't hold or wear anything either. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, as I said, there is only one way for me to get myself some sugar, and so I started murdering all the mobs. The next day, and I was able to get myself some sugar, and thanks to all the things I've collected, it was very, very easy for me to start curing these guys. Now it's just a bit of a waiting game. And whilst I am waiting, I'm actually going to make myself some carpets. Now, the idea was if I put carpets down like here-ish, then in theory, I should be able to stop all the slimes from spawning. At least that was the dream. I'm also going to make myself a better bow, because why not? By the end of the day, the zombie village is killed, by the way. That was pretty cool. Day 39, and I started moving them to their own little hidey hole. One smallish problem, though, is I didn't really think of a way for me to breed them. I can't grow any crops, so they kind of just stuck as the two for the time being. I feel like that farting wandering trader would show up. That'd be fantastic. So the first villager I actually turned into a cleric, there is very little resources that I can get a lot of, but rotten flesh is one of them, so I am actually going to basically make a cleric and trade as much emeralds as I could. I also will need lapis later for enchanting, and this is the only way that I can get it in this world. So let me go ahead and collect myself some rotten flesh. I'll also go ahead and grab myself some string, because when I do figure out how to breed them, I will need myself plenty of bed. So yeah, let's get on this. So after a solid 4 days of grinding, yes, I'm not even kidding, I got myself to 50 levels, which was pretty cool, and I got myself so much stuff. I was able to get some more carpet down. Here's hoping that will stop the slime spawning situation. Now, you think after collecting rotten flesh for 4 days, I'd actually get myself plenty of emeralds, but honestly, that didn't get as much as I was hoping for, so yeah, I'm just kind of stuck with these emeralds. That being said, I got myself an idea as Dr. Havenhand, in case you forgot. So, Haven can't grow crops. We've got all over this, which means we can't breed the villagers. But I do have 2 villagers. There's nothing stopping me from turning this second villager into a farmer. Now, go with me here. I can't breed with carrots or potatoes or beetroots, but I can breed with bread, and you can actually trade bread as a opening slot and get myself some bread and give them the bread, and then they can breed using the bread. Brilliant, I know. So on day 44, I made myself a composter. Now he's gotta grow up, and then we'll have ourselves a farmer. I also finally set myself up an enchant setup. I wanted to set myself up all the good tools, but you know, at least I can make myself an iron sword, and after many failed enchanting attempts, like my goodness, I finally got myself looting free, so that was pretty good. Also, the villager grew up at this point, isn't that good? Never thought in my life I would be resetting trades to get a bread trade, yet here we are. Anyway, I got the trade, and after getting, giving, expanding, and bedding, I finally have a nice villager area set up. Isn't that fantastic? Unfortunately, on day 45, things got a little grindy, I think is the most simple way to say it. I had nothing to do but wait for the villagers to grow, so I went back to the mob farm to just basically murder all the mobs. And so by day 52, I had myself some flesh. Just a little bit, I'd say, not that much. The one mistake I did make was I just collected all the flesh without trading it, and yeah, I didn't really think about that one because now all the trades are locked. However, because the trades aren't necessarily fantastic, I was able to trade the flesh relatively quickly, all things considered. And now for the big 3, an armorer, a toolsmith, and a weaponsmith. However, a problem that I didn't really expect. Oh god, that's some good ramen. Oh yeah. What's that? I'm on. So 1.20.2 has a new trading system that you can turn on, which I do for all of my 20.2 videos for the record. You saw me do it at the start of this video. It does change quite a few things for trading, like what kind of enchantments you can get on specific kinds of armor and specific kinds of books, especially depending on the type of villager that you are trading with. However, a slight change that they have made, which is something that I didn't expect, is that the armorer, one of the 3 villagers that I'm trying to trade with, will always have the same first 3 trades. Either trade for coal or trade for iron, and I have neither of those. I just use the last of my iron to make the blocks needed, and coal is not something I've had this entire time, so yeah. The only real way for me to get a lot of it is to actually go ahead and kill myself some wither skeletons, but I'm still wearing leather armor, so I'm not too confident about that one. And so on day 53, after buying all the axes I'll ever need, I even got myself some iron swords, which is nice. Got myself sharp as 4 on an iron sword, isn't that pretty nifty? I ended up realizing something relatively simple. A lot of these guys are wanting iron as a trade, so I think I need to set myself up an iron farm. Let's start collecting all my stuff. I realized on day 54 that I can get most of the things that I need for an iron farm, but I do need 2 things. Firstly, I need to get myself a name tag, and secondly, ironically, I need to get myself some iron. So yeah, let's do this. At least I can start myself with the name tag. Now I just need to max out this librarian, which admittedly, once I get past this first bit, it actually will be relatively easy. Unfortunately, this one is definitely taking a minute. Once I got past that though on day 55, it was honestly smooth sailing from there. I just need to get enough emeralds for the name tag and we're good to go. Once I got that, I thought about the iron. At this point in time, I need to get myself 30, and I currently have 6 iron. We'll make that 7 because it's just 1 here, but you get the point. We can at least start the iron farm, so let's get moving on that one. Here's as much as I can get done on day 56. I just need to get the irons for some hoppers and we would be good to go. I will also need to clear out this library next to it to stop anything spawning on there, so again, watch this space. And with it cleared out on day 57, we are back to the waiting game. I'm gonna need to get some iron, so I guess we'll just, well, wait. About an hour later on day 60, and would you look at all that iron? It's a pretty damn good amount if I do say so myself. I also got some more thunder, which is pretty cool. And with the iron I did get on day 61, I can make the remainder hoppers I need to finish the farm. I can also use the rest of the iron to trade away. 61 days in and I'm so close to full iron armor. It's a crazy fact, I know. And as I'm trading, I'm slowly unlocking all the trades I need for the armorer, toolsmith. What I did notice on day 62 is that if I had myself a lot of coal, I'd be able to speed up the process quite fanatically. So why don't I go ahead and make myself some enchanted armor, go into the nether and kill wither skeletons, and not only gather myself plenty of coal, but also get myself plenty of wither skeleton skulls. I think that seems like a smart thing to do. And so it was on day 63 where I got myself to the fortress. Whilst I am here, I am going to go ahead and grab myself a couple extra blaze rods, because of course I am going to need them for when I want to enter the end. And then we of course got back to grinding away at some wither skeletons. Took me until day 65 to get my first wither skull, so that was a good start. And only took until day 66 for me to get the second skull. Unfortunately, it was day 70, my goodness, for me to get the final skull that I needed. Alright then, let's head home. And I went back to trading on day 71. I did forget, if you are wanting diamond armor now, you actually have to trade diamonds with the new trading thing, so yeah, that was gonna be a pain. The only real way I can get myself some diamonds is either a fortress, or ironically, I could use myself an end city, which was my next plan. And so I returned back to the nether again, looking for a warped forest. It took me until day 73 for me to find myself the warped forest. Oh cool, hot tourist destination, isn't that nice? And then I went and got myself some pearls. It was very easy thanks to looting free. I got back on the night of 74. I redid my bow on day 75, and it is time to go and kill a dragon. Now, in the middle of this was pretty much a dunking. If you ignore the starter clip of me dropping to 2 hearts, it's still big. It's no problem, whatever. But I took him down. I picked up the egg, and it's time for me to go end city hunting. So it was about 80. Yes, you heard me right. Day 80, where I finally found an end city that actually had an end ship. I quickly grabbed myself shells, got myself a couple of good diamonds in the chest, and of course I picked up the elytra, and that's all I needed. Let's head home. It was about day 83 by the time I got back, and we gotta do some more trades. I actually got myself some diamond armor pieces, which is fantastic. We'll have to make the diamond helmet, but with that diamond helmet, I now have full diamond armor. Now, this chestplate is actually fantastic, but it does have curse of binding on, so rip the netherite dream unless I just hold it for a while. I decided not to do that one though, so what instead I'll do is I'll put a trimming on there and then wear that bad boy. I also then redid my enchants for the rest of the armor. Now, I don't know who to blame with this one, but some god out there really wanted me to have fire protection on my boots. Like, seriously, it took so many attempts. You know what, prop free is fine. I'll take prop free, it's not a problem. The only thing really left to do in this world on day 84 was for me to get myself a full beacon. Now, I only had 4 golden apples to fight this wither, so I was a little bit worried. However, they do call me Danny Wither Killer Haven for a reason, and that is because I kill withers and look good while doing it. So yeah, pretty easy to kill the wither, all things considered. And now we are back with a beacon made, and well, I have bad news for you all. I now have to try and get myself every block under the sun, and the quickest and most simple way to do that is to just trade emeralds. So unfortunately to tell ya, that is what I did for the rest of this world. Here is me completing the full beacon on day 96. It only took a few hours, no problem, but I was able to get it done, and I'm so proud that I did. If this doesn't show success, I don't know what will. I then waited until we got to 99, where I slept until day 100.